So this next activity that we're going to do, this is kind of cool. It's called a voice thread. You guys ever heard of a voice thread before?
No. Yes.
Okay. So a voice thread is a program on the internet, and it allows you to create a presentation, and then you can email the presentation to other people, and then they can record comments on it, or they can type their comments on it and send it back to you. And you can send it out, and hundreds of people can make comments on something that you've created. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at actual real life scenarios, situations, and you guys are going to try to determine which amendment these scenarios have to do with, and whether or not the right is, or our U.S. citizen right is being taken away, or if it's being exercised. So just to kind of do this first one, we're going to do this together. Also, I send these videos to my teacher who lives in Korea, and he grades me on these assignments. And one of the things that he told me is that he thinks that I'm calling on the same students all the time. And so he wanted me to make it a little bit more random. So what I've done is I've made a pile of your names over here, and nobody's off the hook today. Everybody's getting called on. So I need everybody to be paying lots of attention today. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at these different scenarios, and you're going to decide in your mind what the number of the amendment is. And you all have a little copy of an abbreviation of the Bill of Rights. You see those, that half page that I handed out? So you're going to read the scenario, decide which number or which amendment that this scenario has to do with, and decide if that right is being protected or exercised. I'm going to make a note on that, protected. Or if that right is being taken away or violated is another way of saying that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for people who are paying attention, who think that they can explain their thinking, and then I'm actually going to let you guys record a comment on the voice thread, and at the end of the day I'm going to give you guys some directions that you can show to your mom, your dad, your granny, and it shows you how to actually get to this voice thread. And if you tonight record a comment, either audio or if you type a comment on this voice thread, then you will get extra credit points. Plus your mom or your dad will get to hear your voice when we record in here today. So, thumbs up if you understand me, thumbs to the side if you kind of understand me, or thumbs down if you're totally confused. Be honest. Okay, so most of us are at least halfway there. Good. I'll explain as we go along. I think it'll become more clear as we actually dig into this. Okay. Okay. Here's your scenario. And can I have Derica? Can you read the scenario out loud? Can you see it? Okay, go ahead. Mosque. Okay, great job. Keep going. Okay, so we need to look at this situation. Erin is the name of a girl. I use that name because it's my best friend's name. And she visits a Islamic mosque. She practices the religion of Islam. So look at your Bill of Rights, and which amendment on here has something to do with religion? I'm going to call randomly today. Which bill has something to do, or which amendment rather, has something to do with religion? Lillian. Do you see any of those amendments on there that say anything about religion? looking at the right side. Can anybody help her out? Which amendment has something to do with religion? Jaden. Oh wait, Lillian, you think you know now? The First Amendment? Correct. Can you read the First Amendment to me? Excellent. So it is Amendment 1, so you're right. So what you would do, and when we're going through these next scenarios, you're going to write the number of the amendment on your whiteboard. So go ahead and write number 1. So if this was my whiteboard and I was you, I would write number 1. And do we think that Erin, is her right to practice her religious belief, is that being exercised or protected? The fact that she's allowed to go and do that? Or do you feel like that right is being taken away from her? What do you guys think? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Actually, go ahead and write it on your board. You can write exercised or taken away. And we're sharing with each other. You can just write. You can just write E or T. E for exercised or T for taken away. The number of the amendment or E or T. Okay, now hold your whiteboard up when you're done so I can see it. You would write the number. That's okay, it can be really faint. Better yet, maybe Adrian would even share it with you. I like how you numbered yours. Exercise. Excellent. Excellent work. Okay, so you're exactly right. She is exercising her right, her protected right to worship however she believes. Okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and record the first comment. So I'm going to explain my thinking. I'm going to press on this little microphone because that's going to let me record audio. This activity has to do with amendment number 1 because Erin is allowed to worship as she believes. Hang on just a second, guys. I just want to make sure this is recording. This activity has to do with amendment number 1 because Erin is allowed to worship as she believes. Okay, so that's how we're going to do it. I'm going to be looking for you guys who have good answers to these questions, and I'm going to let you come and record if I hear you say a good answer. Okay, our next scenario. All right. Detective Johnson breaks into the Williamson family home because he heard a rumor that they took their next door neighbor's stereo system. Okay, so Detective Johnson is a police officer or a detective